All right, today is different. This is not a regular episode. This is a bonus episode because there's a narrative floating around online and it's loud. Realtors are overpaid, realtors aren't needed, AI is replacing them, commissions, they're a scam. Just call the listing agent, open the door yourself. And instead of arguing with the internet, we decided to bring in someone who actually lives this every single day. Not an average agent, not someone who just got their license last week. We're talking about an icon agent with eXp Realty based out of Las Vegas, runs a team across multiple states, negotiates contracts at scale, and sees the market in real time. Enter Monique Buchanan with eXp. Monique, welcome to the show. Before we throw your name into the fire, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you've built, and why you're an absolute badass in this industry.
Well, thank you guys both for having me. And I think you've already thrown me into the fire, so I had no idea that's what the topic was today.
Maybe a little roasted marshmallow.
Right, exactly. So my name is Monique Buchanan. I've been in this wonderful career for 10 years now. Went by quickly. A little bit about myself. I was born in Seattle, raised in Texas, and raised here in Las Vegas as well. So let's just say I'm really well-rounded, a chameleon, if you must say. But no, I love Vegas. I've been here for almost 30 years, off and on. Mainly grew up here, but yes, I do have my reach is in all 50 states. I can assist all clients, so I do travel a bit as well. But yeah, so your topic is a good one because it is a concern for many people, and that's unfortunately the way a lot of people think. So we can just dive right into that.
Yeah, and she's being really shy. You know, I work with hundreds of realtors across the United States, and you need a realtor that answers questions before they're asked. You need a realtor to know the runway before you take off. You need to know all of these things before you get into a contract, before you start shopping. I noticed right out the gate once I started working with Monique that she ensures that the clients are not just, approved, but they're confidently approved. And she gives details. She gets granular. She asks them, do you want school districts? Do you want noise pollution? Do you want what side of town? Do you really know what a two-story house is compared to a one-story? Do you want extra room for a pool? All these little things. Then she looks at the economics. She has me pull property report cards to look at what the appreciation has been over the past 5 years, what it's going to be the next 5 years. She looks at the demographics. Are there new buyers coming in? Is it new families? Is it established families? She's on a different level when it comes to white glove treatment. She makes every client feel like the most important person in the room. Every time I talk to her clients, they're confident and they're so thankful that they have someone like Monique. So she is the perfect person on these internet questions that we see all the time. So starting with Manly, let's get into it. What you got for Mo?
Hey, Mo. So we're going to ask you these questions that we do see on social media, on the internet, all over, and they are meant to be alarming, that's for sure. But all right, let's not sugarcoat this. Social media says realtors are glorified door openers who make tens of thousands of dollars just for unlocking a house and sending a few emails. In 2026, with Zillow and Redfin, everything online, why should anyone pay you at all?
No, I love that. That's a great question. And yeah, I've had to explain this quite a few times, and I have no problem explaining it. See, listen, when we open the doors for you, that's not the work. The work begins when we send that offer over. We don't just send it. If you have a good realtor, she's not just going to send it. He's not just going to send it. Okay, there's so much behind the scenes that unfortunately clients don't see. So I understand why they think that. If I wasn't a realtor, I would think the same thing.
I will sell this house today.
I will sell this house today. I will sell this house today.
And then you just see all these flashy realtors on, social media renting cars and pretending like it's theirs. Or maybe it is theirs. But here's the thing, like I said, our job really starts when we put that offer in, when we negotiate that price for you, the fact that we're out there hitting those streets, boots on the ground every single day, because unfortunately this market can change in an instant. I tell my clients all the time, and my listeners as well, listen, at the end of the day, if the rates drop, right, now the seller has the upper hand. But if that seller is selling their own house and they don't know that, they don't have a realtor that's out there in these streets and understands right when stuff happens, they're going to think that the buyer still has the upper hand. They don't know. They don't have their finger to the pulse because it's not what they do. So they're just thinking, the last I heard, this is what it was. Well, guess what? Now if you have a realtor, they know what the market is at that time. They know what's going on. So they know, Mr. Seller, no, we're not giving up closing costs because now the rates have dropped, which means now you have the upper hand. I'm going to save you 15, 20, 30, 40,000 just with that information. So no, we are not overpaid. Also, going through the process of closing, when you open escrow, there are so many things that can happen and do happen that your realtor has to have experience on wiggling you out of. We're all human. We all go into, buy a home thinking, we have everything lined up as we should, but things always pop up. And those things can kill your deal if you don't have an experienced realtor with you that has had something like that happen in the past and can wiggle you out of it in a legal way, but can know how to wiggle you out of it. Or maybe has connections with the title company that, they say, normally we'll require this, but because I know you, your realtor, we're going to go ahead and we'll make a waiver for this one time. You're not getting that waiver if you don't have a realtor. There's no relationship there.
Mo, you're speaking about like a lot of multitasking, a lot of juggling. That leads us to our next question that I saw on Instagram a lot. The top 5 question with realtors is that anyone can do your job, Mo. So let's be real. People online.
I'm a therapist.
People online.
I am a therapist. You can really do my job. It cracks me up.
Let's get real. People online say being a realtor isn't a real skill. They take a weekend class, they pass a test, they post on Instagram, and they open some doors. And that's it. So what exactly makes you different from the thousands of agents who just got licensed last month?
Oh my goodness. Well, God bless them. The thing is, you can't buy experience. You can't buy all the knowledge that I've gained, thank the Lord, over these years. And exactly on what I'm talking about, mainly on making sure my clients are protected and making sure they get the house that they want and they get the keys that I'm putting them in their hands. And let me just touch on that. One of the worst mistakes, and not to stroke your ego, but I got to give you your flowers, Anthony. Up until I met Anthony, listen, let me just tell everybody out there, if you don't have a realtor that has a lender that knows what they're doing, you are in trouble. You are in trouble because the lender will literally make or break your deal. Okay. And a lot of times they'll sweep stuff, and I don't mean to talk about people, but lenders will sweep stuff under the rug or throw something against the wall because they're excited to get a deal and hope that it actually goes all the way through.
Well, my firm offers ninja loans. No income, no job. I just leave the income section blank if I want. Corporate doesn't care. These people just want homes, and they go with the flow.
And then when things are popping up, they don't know how to get that person out of those things. They should have never approved that person. This happens so often. And in the beginning of my career, it was happening a lot. So experience, having the right connections, the right people that know what they're doing. When you get a realtor like myself that's been in the game, that has been, had all the things happen and knows how to get you out of those things and has a team behind me that has even more experience, that's what you need when it comes to buying a home. And especially in the market that's about to happen. We're about to be a feeding frenzy again. And if your lender and your realtor don't have their stuff together and you think you're going to get that beautiful house, if there's any competition, you're not going to get that house. Because if I come,
you got a team behind you. So it's not just Mo, the one woman show. It is Mo with the transaction coordinator, the buyer's agents, the listing agents. Like, you have a whole team to where you can focus granularity on that specific task, and that's what sets you apart.
Oh, absolutely. So what sets me apart is, first and foremost, let me just share the reason I got into this game. I got into real estate or this career. As a single mother, I was trying to buy myself a house and I had a really bad experience with my realtor. Okay. I lost my money, or my money was lost for me. Now this realtor, unfortunately, didn't do, he was, and I hate to talk about new realtors, and he was a friend, he just got his license. A lot of us do this, so don't come for me. And I love him even to this day, but he, you know, he doesn't know what he doesn't know, right? So my heart is in this, and that's what sets me apart. This is not about the money for me. Like I told you, $3,500 a month is not a whole lot of money sometimes, guys. Not to say, but I'm saying, hey, but yeah, so my heart is in this. That's what first and foremost sets me apart, is because there's nothing better to me than seeing somebody that was told they'll never buy a home get keys to their house. Me and Anthony giving them keys. That's what sets me apart. Okay, honestly, that is what makes a big difference, because a lot of people are in this for the money. They think they're going to make all this money. They do it as a side hustle, and they don't really study the market. They don't really know what's going on. They may have not sold a house for the last year. And so they don't know what's going on. Like I said, the market changes so quickly. So if you don't have somebody that's out there every day hitting these streets, you're risking a whole lot, okay? Because I always tell my people, don't ask realtors, how long have you been a realtor? Guess what? You could be 20 years in and only sold 3 houses. And that's what matters. Ask your realtor, hey, how many houses have you sold in the last year? And by the way, the average realtor sells only 4 to 5 houses a year. And that's a pretty good realtor. I sell 40 by myself. 40.
Yeah.
So that's just by myself.
Yeah, you're humble.
And I do have a team.
You're
I have a
humble.
team. Yeah, I'm real humble. No, but I am humble. Honestly, you guys are making me do this because you caught me off guard. You're making me, but honestly, they need to know this, so I don't mind sharing that. I want them to know what's average to ask.
Mo, I got another great question for you.
Great,
all right?
Natalie. What you got?
Another good one, another doozy. Hey, let's get really bold here. AI can write contracts, they can estimate value, they can draft emails, they can analyze comps, and even do virtual tours. So, Monique, what does the top 1% realtor actually do now that technology basically can't do your job?
What I just said, technology has never had experiences when you're sitting at the closing table and the husband all of a sudden has a kid that the wife don't know about. What you gonna do with that technology? Right?
Remember that.
Right? Have technology wiggle you out of that one, sir. So there's that human aspect.
Chat GPT,
Yeah,
you're
you
way
can't
through that.
check yourself out of that child support that popped up, that your wife is looking at you like this now. So there's so many instances like that. Life be lifing. And Chat GPT and all those tools cannot handle lifing. But we can, because we are human.
Me and Anthony have these conversations on a regular about you still have to humanize it all. You can use those tools to help you draft things and help you organize your thoughts and help you basically do research on your thoughts so that you can validate your thoughts and make sure that you're right. But they can't take the human element and do what you do what we do, and make things happen the way they should happen, and put the human thought into it that's required to get you to the other side of finding out at the table that
apparently you have another child with your husband that you didn't know about. Let me give you a perfect example.
Well, AI doesn't have the dynamics of, it understands facts, it doesn't understand feelings. And so it can take a whole bunch of data and create info, but with that info, it lacks empathy, it lacks ego, it lacks humanality. And all of those little nuances are the difference between a good deal and a bad deal, or a closed transaction or a canceled transaction. And that's no matter what. I agree. I think that was the laughablest one I see floating out there. Which another one we keep seeing is, all right, right now in a hot market, houses sell themselves.
Oh, so sorry. It's the boss. Hey.
Hi, I'm on my way home. I've been calling Haley, but nobody's answering. Is everything okay there?
Everything here is great.
Oh, thank God. Did you put the chair out front?
Not yet.
Honey, you're gonna miss the trash pickup.
Don't worry, if they don't take it, someone else will.
Who was gonna pick up that ratty chair off our lawn?
Are you kidding? It's in great shape. Super cozy. People are always commenting on it. Trust me, it'll be gone by the end of the day.
Please just do it now.
I can't. I'm so sorry. When I'm done with these clients, I'll call Luke and Leon. I know I can talk them into it.
We are not losing this house to Luke and Leon.
Agents really don't matter. So when inventory moves fast, are realtors just riding a wave and collecting checks? They're kind of meaningless. Like when houses are flying off the shelves, Why do we need you,
Oh, because
Mo? Like, you're
yeah,
useless.
okay, so there you go. So if I'm representing the seller and the houses are flying off the shelf, I was going to give you another example about the other thing, but that we'll go to that. So if the houses are flying off the shelf, then if you're just somebody you don't need a realtor, you're going to take the first thing that comes along that is what you're asking. Oh, they're giving me what I want. There we go. You don't know about strategy. You don't know how. You're not probably knowing to really negotiate, right? You're not knowing that. Hey, you're not knowing to look just not just at comps, but like, am I the only one for sale now? A lot of comps are what's sold, but do you know to look at what's out there now in your area? That might bump you up a little bit more, right? So there's little bitty things that a regular person wouldn't know. So if I'm the only, let's see, let me give an example. Casita owning house, in this area. Now, when you look at a comp, you're looking at square footage and all the things, you get a little, but you're looking at sold. So as an agent, I'm not only going to look at that, I'm going to say, hey, if I know buyers are looking for a casita and my property is the only one in this whole area with a casita, hey, that gives me more value. I'm going to bump it up, right? So you wouldn't know that as a rug. You're just like, okay, let me look at the comps. Okay, Zillow says I'm worth this. We're going to go with that. And then you get the first answer. Oh, good, look, we got that. We got the 650 we wanted, honey. Okay, well, here comes Monique. Nope, here, Mr. Seller. Hold on. As your realtor, we're going to hold on to that. Yes, you got that 650, but now we're going to bring other offers in.
We are prepared to make you a very generous offer.
And we are prepared to reject that offer.
Michael, you haven't even heard.
Never accept their first offer. What is your second offer?
I'm going to put them on pause because I've heard another couple people tell me, and now I'm going to call them and I'm going to say, I'm not going to tell them how much we have, but I'm going to work them on out. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I got one, and yeah, I got a couple offers on the table. You want to make sure to send me your highest and best. Yeah, we already have an offer at list or above list. You know what I mean? So that's working these other people, the other agent. Oh God, okay. Listen, guys, clients, they've got an offer. And so they're going to assume it's over because I'm not going to tell them what it is. Now I'm going to get your 650 up to 675. And you wouldn't have did that.
Now you're worth it. Now that check that they were trying to save a dime on, now they're making a quarter or a dollar, which I mean, I know Manley, you saw that spicy one about how realtors and the professionals. Talk to me about that one. This is perfect.
More spicy? Oh my God.
More
What's
spicy.
spicy?
If realtors are supposed to be professionals, why do we see so many transactions fail apart over inspections, appraisals, or bad communication? Isn't that literally your job to prevent?
Bad inspection. So you should be covered during that due diligence period. I don't know how unless the seller, I'm kind of lost on that one, but appraisals, let's just go to that one because I'm lost on the inspection one because you have a right to back out. So I don't know why you're not backing out if your inspection went bad.
Oh! Kitchen! The kitchen! Where's the kitchen? They took the goddamn kitchen!
So, but the appraisal one, sometimes what we'll do, because the buyer needs money because they're broke and they still want to buy a house, okay? So to help our clients out, we're not judging them. We teach them to roll some of the cost. In other words, Mr. Seller is willing to give you $10,000 of the 20 you need for closing costs, right? So sometimes what we'll say is, okay, so let's roll that other 10,000 into your loan. So now we bump up the price of the house by 10,000. Anthony will tell you it only costs what does that cost? 20, 30 bucks? 30
Couple
years?
bucks.
So it doesn't cost our buyers.
It's noise.
Yeah. But it's giving them the money that they need because they don't have any money saved up. A lot of our clients, a lot of people just don't have, it's hard out there. They don't have a lot of money, but they do want to buy the house. So we're working it out for them. So this $20, $30 extra a month, are you okay with that? Yes, I am. Okay. Well, now the house has to appraise for that extra 10,000. So more than likely, that's what they were doing, is trying to help the buyer out with money. Then the appraisal came back, didn't appraise. 9 times out of 10, most sellers will still move forward unless they're in some kind of hot market and they know they got 5 other offers that are waiting. Typically, in my experience, in my 10 years, they all move forward. I've only had a couple ever not move forward when the property did not appraise, unless it's like 20, 30,000. But $10,000, okay, fine. It didn't appraise. Let's move forward. So that's the only thing I could think of why it's not appraising her. Hey, and by the way, appraisers are people. If you get a stickler to come in there, yeah, he could really appraise it way low. Or you could get somebody in there that's not a stickler and gives you what you need. It just depends. It's human again. So you're going to get one appraiser that's going to appraise it for what it should be in everybody's mind appraised for. But then you're going to get another appraiser that's having a bad day, that his wife found out he had another kid outside of state when they were trying to buy a house, and now he's going to appraise your house low because he's mad.
Is that a
We don't
fresh deal that
control
just
that.
happened to you,
But
Monique?
we always
Well,
educate
we
people
have
on that.
what happens in
Stays
Vegas
in
definitely stays in Vegas apparently, because we see some crazy
Yeah.
stuff happen from didn't know babies' mamas and daddies'
Right.
mamas had kids to, well, I didn't know you had those 7 credit cards on
But
the
here's
side.
another thing, Tone. You get your money back. That's the part that's not being talked about. We educate our clients. If it does not appraise and they do not decide to move forward, once again, as your realtor, we get your money back for you. Your deposit that you put down. There's our value again. So I'm saying, like, we protect you, so you're not losing money if you use a realtor.
So let's address the elephant in
There's
the room.
more of an
here.
elephant. I see a llama.
Well,
I see a llama.
none of these questions were random. These were pulled straight from the comment sections of TikTok clips, Instagram reels, headlines, from what buyers are actually hearing every single day. Right, Manley?
Yeah. And the reason we asked them this way, raw, unfiltered, uncomfortable, it's because people deserve to hear real answers from someone who is actually in the arena, not a meme page, not a keyboard expert, not an AI agent, not a hot take, an actual top performing professional like Monique. That's why we wanted to go.
Well, thanks for making me,
That's right. And
yeah,
what this
the punching
proves-
bag.
What and Mo, what it proves is simple. When you're making the biggest financial decision of your life, clarity matters, strategy matters, representation
Absolutely.
matters, and confidence comes from having someone like Monique in your corner who does this at the highest level every single day. Right, Manley?
You bet. Social media can give you noise. An expert gives you protection. And when your money and your family and your future's on the line, you don't need a door opener. You need a professional like that.
Thank you, guys.
100%. When it comes to representation and realtors, they definitely are not just door openers. They don't just put a key in there. There is so much behind the scenes. You know, just like a medical professional, you come see them, you don't know what they do because you're out in anesthesia and you have no idea the stuff they had to go through or the 10, 15 years of schooling that they had to go do. Same with Mo. The decades, the hundreds, if not thousands of families that she's helped. She has seen it. She has lived it. She has breathed it. So to all you people out there, all our listeners who are thinking they can do this on their own, you got to work smarter, not harder. Use a realtor.
Yes, please use a realtor. You don't want to do this on your own.
Mo, I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting up with Anthony, who set you up.
He did.
Because he said you were a spitfire and you'd have great reaction on this, and you didn't lie. It was wonderful. I loved it because, well, honestly, it's the truth. We wanted to hear exactly what we got, and people need to understand that there is so much more to this industry that not everybody can do it. And there are a lot of people that fail at this industry in your seat that just don't understand. They decided, hey, it's so easy. I just did a deal with Monique. She made it look so easy. I'm going to go do that because I can do it because look at Monique can do it. Well, that's just not how it works. So we appreciate your time. We appreciate everything you've done, your experience, and thanks for the great commentary. And again, I apologize for my partner, Anthony. He's going to be a pickle.
No, it's all good. I appreciate Anthony. I couldn't do it without him. So, and thank you, Manley. Thanks for having me on the show. Everybody out there, just remember you definitely need representation. It's totally worth it. Don't believe TikTok and Instagram.
Girl from the heart of Wisconsin to the waves of Hawaii. Manley and Anthony keep it real, not salesy. Breaking down rates and the truth you need to know with a little soul and a little homegrown flow. It's the Mortgage 101 podcast where real talk meets home at last. Manley's got that Midwest soul. Anthony brings that island roll when the market swings and you don't go fast. Realtors 101.